Hello and welcome to Modern Skills in English. Today, we're talking about a feeling every student knows, being stuck. That moment when you have to make an important choice, but you have so many options that you can't decide. You think, and you end up doing nothing at all.
That is exactly where I am right now. I have a major project due, and I've been trying to choose my topic for 2 weeks. I made a list of 10 possible ideas. I researched all of them online. I have pages of notes for each one. And now, I am more confused than when I started. Every topic seems good, but also risky. The deadline is getting closer, and I feel completely frozen. I can't move forward. Why does having more information make me feel so stuck?
That is the perfect question, and it holds the key. Most students believe the problem is the choice itself. They think they need to find the one perfect topic, the one perfect answer.
Yes, of course. I want to get a good grade. I don't want to choose a topic and then regret it later.
That sounds reasonable. But what if the search for the perfect choice is the reason you're frozen? What if the real problem isn't the topics on your list, but the process of thinking itself? It's a common pattern. The more you analyze, the less clear things become, until you are completely paralyzed.
Paralyzed, that's the word. I feel like I can't move. But what's the alternative? Should I just pick a topic randomly? That feels irresponsible.
Not randomly, but perhaps with a different goal. The student's first instinct is to avoid making a bad decision. This is a trap. The goal is not to find the one single perfect option. The goal is to find one of several good enough options and begin.
Good enough? That sounds a little lazy. The teachers always tell us to do our best work. Good enough feels like settling for less.
I understand why it feels that way. We are all taught to aim for excellence. But this idea applies to the work you do, not necessarily the choice you make before you start. Let me ask you this. Have you ever tried to pick a movie to watch with friends?
All the time. It's a disaster. We spend 30 minutes scrolling through options, reading reviews, watching trailers, and by the time we agree on something, it's too late to watch it.
Exactly. You are all searching for the perfect movie that will make everyone happy, but that movie probably doesn't exist. What would happen if after 5 minutes, you just picked a movie that looked good enough?
We'd actually watch a movie and probably enjoy it.
Right. The search for the perfect choice cost you the entire experience. Your project is the same. There are probably 4 or 5 topics on your list that would lead to a great project. But by searching for the single best one, you are giving up the most important resource you have, time. You're letting the perfect become the enemy of the good.
Okay, I see that. Searching for perfect is a trap. So my goal should be to just find a good enough topic. But how do I know when a topic is good enough? I have so much information about all of them. I can argue for and against every single one.
This brings us to the second point. Most students believe that more information leads to more clarity.
It should, shouldn't it? If I know all the positives and negatives, I can make a better, safer decision. That's why I did all the research.
It feels like the right thing to do. Research feels like progress. It feels like you're working on the project. But each new piece of information is another thing to compare. Each new detail adds complexity. Your brain isn't getting clearer, it's getting fuller. The real skill is not to find more information, it's to decide how much is enough.
Enough information. How can you know when you have enough?
You decide before you start. You decide that you will find just enough information to make a reasonable choice and no more. The goal is to find sufficient information, not all the information in the world.
So if I were buying a new laptop, I shouldn't read every review online?
Exactly. Maybe you decide that you need to know 3 things: the battery life, the price, and the screen size. Once you find 3 laptops that meet your needs, you have sufficient information. You don't need to read a 5,000-word article comparing the keyboard button design. That extra information doesn't help you. It just confuses you.
So for my project, I probably had enough information after the first day of research. The extra week I spent just made everything more complicated. I was just adding noise.
It's a very easy trap to fall into. It feels productive, but it's really a form of procrastination.
So I need to aim for good enough and stop when I have sufficient information. That makes sense. But I still feel like I'd just be staring at my list of 10 topics. How do I actually compare them if I'm not supposed to just think about it until one feels right?
Ah, the feeling right trap. This is the third and most important turning point. Students often wait to feel a spark of inspiration or a sense of certainty about a choice.
Yes, I want to be excited about my topic. I want to feel confident.
And that's a wonderful thing when it happens, but you cannot make it your strategy. Feelings are unreliable. One day a topic feels exciting. The next day, after a bad night's sleep, that same topic feels boring and difficult. Relying on a feeling is like trying to build a house on sand.
So what should I build it on?
You build it on clear, simple rules. Before you look at your options, you create your own rules for the decision. You define your criteria.
My criteria? What do you mean?
You decide what is truly important for this project's success. Not a list of 20 things, a list of 3, maybe 4 at the most. What 3 things must a topic have for it to be a good choice for you?
Okay, let me think. First, it has to be something I'm genuinely interested in. I'll be working on it for months. Second, there must be enough academic sources available for me to research properly. Third, it needs to fit the requirements on the professor's assignment sheet. It can't be too broad or too narrow.
Perfect. Interest, resources, and scope. Those are your criteria. Not which topic sounds most impressive, not which topic your friend is doing. Only those 3 things matter. Now, you take your list of 10 topics and you measure each one against your 3 criteria. Give each topic a simple score from 1 to 5 for each criteria.
So I'd give each topic a score for interest, a score for resources, and a score for scope. Then I add up the scores.
Exactly. The topics with the highest scores are your good enough options. You don't need a feeling. You have a system. You can trust the system. The decision is no longer a big, scary, emotional choice. It's a simple, logical process.
That actually makes me feel much calmer. It makes it mechanical in a good way. It takes the pressure off. But what if I do all that, I pick the topic with the highest score, and I start working, and it's the wrong choice? If this is true, why do so many good students still struggle? They pick a topic and then they get stuck halfway through. The regret of not picking a different topic feels like a real risk.
That fear of regret is the engine of the thinking trap. We think if we just analyze more, we can prevent future pain. But what if I told you that clarity doesn't come before you act? Clarity comes from acting.
How? If I start writing about the wrong topic, I'll just get more confused and frustrated.
Let's connect the ideas. You used your criteria to pick a good enough option based on sufficient information. You didn't wait until you felt perfect, which saved you from being paralyzed. Now, the final step is to commit.
Commit. That sounds final. It's scary.
It does. But when you commit to a path, something powerful happens. You stop spending energy looking at other paths. All your focus goes into moving forward on the one you've chosen. And as you move, you start to build something. You build momentum.
Momentum? Like a ball rolling downhill.
Precisely. The hardest part is getting that first push. But once it's rolling, it gets easier to keep it rolling. When you write the first page of your project, you learn what you need for the second page. You discover new questions. You find unexpected connections. This clarity is impossible to find just by thinking. You can only find it by doing. A good decision isn't one that guarantees a perfect outcome. A good decision is one that creates momentum.
So you're saying the real risk isn't choosing the wrong topic from my list of good options. The real risk is choosing nothing at all, because by choosing nothing, I have zero momentum. I'm standing still while the deadline gets closer.
You've got it. The anxiety you feel doesn't come from the options. It comes from the lack of movement. Once you commit and start moving, a lot of that anxiety will disappear. It will be replaced by the focus of doing the work.
I think I understand now. The goal was never to find the perfect topic. The goal was just to start. The system is choose a good enough option using clear criteria and sufficient information. Then fully commit to that choice to build momentum. Stop looking back.
And trust that you will figure out the challenges along the way. You are smart enough to solve problems as they appear. You don't need a perfect plan before you begin. You just need a starting point.
It's a huge relief, honestly. I don't feel paralyzed anymore. I'm looking at my list and I think I know which topic I'm going to choose. It meets all my criteria. It's not perfect, but I'm interested in it. I can start writing the outline tonight.
And how does that feel?
It feels possible. For the first time in 2 weeks, it actually feels possible. The pressure is gone.
Hello, everyone listening. We hope this conversation was helpful for you. If there's a particular thinking trap or a study problem that you get stuck in, please let us know what you'd like to hear about next in the comments below. We read everyone.